but it rubs in really well. No white cast, as you can see. And for some reason, all the ones that I just rounded up today from my bathroom, they're all mineral sunscreens. It feels like a chunky cream. I don't know if that sounds weird. Kind of sounded weird to say, but hey everyone, it's Dr. Joyce Park, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is sunscreen, but more specifically, why we should all be using tinted sunscreen, especially if you are prone to dark spots, which is a lot of us, I guess. So you may be wondering, I talk about sunscreen a whole bunch and I make a lot of recommendations, but why tinted sunscreen in particular? So we're gonna get into that today, as well as go over a review of a ton of my favorite tinted sunscreens. And get excited. Okay, so the number one question is why use tinted sunscreen and what does it offer beyond regular non-tinted sunscreen? So to answer this question, we have to think a little bit back to the electromagnetic spectrum and think about the wavelengths of UVA, UVB, and also visible light. So we know that our typical sunscreen filters like zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, and all our chemical filters, they're decent at blocking UVA and UVB. So UVA and UVB radiation from the sun ranges from wavelengths of about 290 nanometers up to 400 nanometers. So all of our existing sunscreen filters block those wavelengths. Now, before I've told you that sunscreen filters abroad are much better, and they're better because they block a wider range of wavelengths, but that's a topic for a different day. Going back to tinted sunscreens, there's a whole portion of the electromagnetic spectrum which is actually visible light. Like you hear about blue light, red light, all of those kinds of light that our eyes can detect and see. And those wavelengths actually are above 400 nanometers. So that ranges from about 400 nanometers all the way up to 700 nanometers. And as you can imagine, our traditional sunscreen filters do not actually block visible light. Studies have shown that UV radiation comprises of about 5% of the solar radiation that reaches the Earth, whereas visible light comprises about 44%. So it is a large percentage that we're getting just as we walk around going about our day from the sun. Visible light actually also penetrates the skin at a greater depth as well, at a range of 90 to 750 micrometers, whereas with UV radiation, it penetrates from about 1.5 to 90 micrometers. Why do we care that we're getting a lot of visible light and that we're not protected from it? Basically because visible light has been shown to cause redness, erythema in lighter skinned individuals, and also cause worsening hyperpigmentation in individuals with darker skin types. This is an issue for a lot of us, regardless of skin type, who suffer from pigmentary disorders anyways. So this is where I'm talking about things like melasma, things like post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which is when you get a dark mark after you get a rash or a mosquito bite or any other type of insult or injury to the skin, as well as a more rare form called lichen planus pigmentosis. There are a lot of different skin conditions as well that are triggered and worsened by sun exposure. And some of these also have an action spectrum in the visible light range. An example of this is solar urticaria, which are hives from the sun, as well as cutaneous porphyria, where you get blistering in the sun. All of this is to say that studies have definitely shown that exposure to visible light can really worsen hyperpigmentation. And a lot of my patients and a lot of my community online have talked to me a lot about how their hyperpigmentation gets so much worse in the summer, even though they're wearing sunscreen. And the answer is they need to be using a tinted sunscreen, because tinted sunscreen contains iron oxide, and iron oxides can actually block visible light. So this brings it back full circle to why we even care about this in the first place, is if you are prone to hyperpigmentation, if you have darker skin type, or if you have hyperpigmentation from a skin condition that gets worse with sun exposure, please consider a tinted sunscreen. Aside from using tinted sunscreens because you have like melasma or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, tinted sunscreens are also just more cosmetically elegant. And personally, I like them because they offer a little bit of coverage. So they can block up and cover up some of my freckles, dark spots, imperfections, etc. And it almost acts kind of like a makeup hybrid. For a lot of darker skinned individuals, non-tinted sunscreens can also leave a white cast on their skin. And even though I'm pretty fair skinned as well, I actually do also experience a white cast with many different non-tinted sunscreens. So for that reason, I think tinted sunscreens are very versatile and great, and also make sunscreen more accessible to people of all skin types, so we all don't end up looking like Casper the Ghost. Okay, now we're gonna go into a roundup of my favorite tinted sunscreens. And for some reason, all the ones that I just rounded up today from my bathroom, they're all mineral sunscreens. So they're all zinc oxide or titanium dioxide based. There's tons of wonderful chemical sunscreens out there too that are tinted, but for whatever reason, all the products that I chose today were mineral, so that's what we're gonna go with. Side note, mineral sunscreens and chemical sunscreens are both great. I do not have a preference. It's truly up to you which one you prefer. The one we're gonna review today is an OG, like one I absolutely love. This one is the Isdin Eryfotona Ageless, and it actually comes in both a non-tinted and tinted form, but obviously we're talking about the tinted form today. It has zinc oxide 10.7%, SPF 50. It is water resistant for 40 minutes, and it comes with a whole host of other cool things, but one of my favorite ingredients in it is the DNA repairsomes. These are actually plankton-derived photolyase enzymes, which help to repair existing DNA damage. So I mean, like, how cool is that? The original discovery of this enzyme won a Nobel Prize back in the day. And now they're using this technology in this sunscreen, which I think is really cool. I mean, it's really going beyond just sun protection. It also contains ascorbic acid for brightening and for antioxidant properties. This also contains a peptide, palmitoyl tripeptide 38, also known as matrixyl synthase 6. Studies have shown that that peptide helps boost the production of different components of the skin matrix, such as collagen, fibronectin, and laminin. It also contains glycerin, which is a humectant, helping your skin hold on to water, and bisabolol for soothing. So to me, this goes beyond just a sunscreen because it offers so many other skin-loving benefits. And the tint is pretty great. I'll show you guys. Comes out like this. It's a little bit liquidy. Go ahead and rub that in. When I'm really pale, coming out of the winter, it can be a little bit orange on me, but I love this sunscreen, and I'm obsessed with this sunscreen brand and these two in the Eryfotona line, and I will forever be singing its praises. But it rubs in really well, no white cast as you can see, and it does give like a really nice kind of almost matte finish. Like it definitely covers up any imperfections, and I would say this is a pretty universally flattering tint. It can be a little, like I mentioned, orange on me when I'm really pale coming out of winter. Next up is the Roche-Posay Tinted Mineral Anthelios Light Fluid Sunscreen. It's kind of a mouthful, and it is important to know which one you're buying because they offer this as a mineral or as a chemical sunscreen, and also tinted and non-tinted, and in multiple SPFs. So the one that I'm sharing is SPF 50 for the face, tinted mineral light fluid sunscreen. So the filter in this is titanium dioxide 11%. It also contains senna alata, which is a tropical plant extract that functions as an antioxidant. So this one comes out more as a liquid. It's a little bit more liquidy than the Isdin one. I'll show you. Put it on my hand here. So you can see it's like kind of liquidy, a little bit runny. And then when you put that on, disappears. And this one, I think, is pretty similar to the Isdin one in that both are a little bit liquidy, really, really lightweight. They would layer really well under makeup, and they both have a very similar color. They have a very similar tint. When I compare the two, you could compare the two here. They're both maybe a little bit slightly orange on me, but it's not that noticeable. And when I touch both of these, I think the Isdin one is a little bit more mattifying, whereas the Roche-Posay one, it can feel a little tiny bit tackier, but they're both really, really great options. And I mean, I'm just being really picky because look at this. There's no white cast whatsoever, and they're both extremely, extremely lightweight, breathable. I think you guys would love these options. So in the past, I've shared a lot about this one, which is the EltaMD UV Elements SPF 44. And I think this has been replaced by the EltaMD UV AOX Elements. This is SPF 50 broad spectrum. In this one, the SPF filters are zinc oxide 13.5% and titanium dioxide 4.4%. I think they remade it because the idea behind this is to produce a more elevated sunscreen that also functions as a skincare product. What do I mean by that? This has a lot more skincare ingredients, premium skincare ingredients like vitamin C in the form of a vitamin C ester, which can help with antioxidant activity as well as help brighten. It also has vitamin E, which works synergistically with that vitamin C. It has hyaluronic acid to help your skin hold on to and retain moisture. It also has bisabolol and ginger root, which can help to calm down the skin and also decrease the appearance of redness. So in my mind, this is not just a sunscreen either. This is like sunscreen plus because it does contain a lot of brightening and calming agents that I think would be great for you if you struggle with dark spots. Maybe if you really want a simplified skincare routine and you don't want to invest in a separate vitamin C product, this could be an interesting one for you. Let's put it on. I'll put this one on my arm here. So this one comes out more as a cream. You could see it's not runny or liquidy at all like the Isdin or the Roche-Posay ones that I just tried on. It's definitely thicker and it feels really creamy. It feels like a chunky cream. I don't know if that sounds weird. Kind of sounded weird to say, but it definitely is creamier and provides more hydration. So putting it on here, it really does disappear fully into my skin and it feels really good. And I would say this provides definitely a decent amount of coverage. I would say this is medium coverage because it can cover up any dark spots or imperfections and it leaves my skin feeling really hydrated as well. So I think this is a really great option again for those who are looking for a sunscreen product that does more than just protect your skin from the sun because it does have that really nice coverage. It has those extra skincare ingredients and it's just a really elegant formula. So this is another one that's one of my favorite tinted sunscreens. I have to shout out this one sunscreen because I don't think it's gotten enough love yet. It's more new, and that is the Lightsaver sunscreen. It already won an Allure Best of Beauty 2023 award, and it's actually founded by my Stanford Med School classmate, Dr. David Kim. So shout out to you, David, for making an incredible sunscreen. This one is a mineral sunscreen that's lightly tinted. I would say this is light coverage because when I put it on, you can still see all my freckles and dark spots, so this is good as a base. It contains zinc oxide 14.2%, but again, comes with a whole host of extras. So this also contains photolyase, which is that enzyme that helps to repair existing DNA damage. It also has niacinamide, and if you haven't seen my niacinamide video yet, I'll link it below. We know that that has great antioxidant properties and also helps to brighten and can help with acne. It has squalane, which can help your skin stay hydrated, as well as lingonberry extract, which is rich in polyphenols, which has excellent antioxidant activity. This cream comes out, where do I have space? Let me put this on my arm over here. This comes out, it definitely is more of like a chunky cream as well, like this. You could see it's like definitely like a cream. It's more of like a whipped mousse texture. That is a good word for it. It's a whipped mousse. And I'm putting it on here. You can see there's 0 white cast. Aren't we so lucky that we have so many great mineral options nowadays that are tinted and don't leave any white cast? This is why when people tell me they don't wear sunscreen because of the white cast, I'm like, really? Because we have really great options nowadays. So I'm putting it on. It really just feels so hydrating. It has a really nice, universally flattering tint. This one is the tint is less orangey on me than the others that I've talked about already. The Isdin, the Roche-Posay, and the EltaMD. The Lightsaver one is the most non-orangey on me, which I really appreciate. It does also just provide light coverage, but this is a really elegant sunscreen that I think is wonderful for day-to-day use. And if you are looking for something that has kind of like a whipped mousse texture that offers more hydration, then this is it. Also, I'm just like, side note, obsessed with the branding. I think the colors, the font, the finish of the text, everything is just so elegant. So hats off to you, my Stanford Med classmate, Dr. David Kim. 2 more to cover, so stay with me. Next up is the Tatcha Silk Sunscreen. They came out with a different formulation of this back in, I think, 2022, and then now it comes in this new packaging, which is compact for travel, and it doesn't peel off like the old one did. This is broad spectrum SPF 50 PA+++++, so it offers really good UVA protection. And this is a zinc oxide 10% sunscreen. What I like about it is that it goes on really smooth. Like it really is very silky smooth. I'll put it on here. Here you go. You can tell it's kind of like a liquid. It runs a little bit more. This definitely is lighter with strong pink undertones. So when I rub it in, it feels like a serum, like a really, really lightweight hydrating serum. And the tint on me is just really, really natural. I find that a lot of tinted sunscreens can run orange on me, but this one just matches my skin perfectly. And it also just leaves my skin looking so, so radiant, dewy, and glowy that it's almost like a very cosmetically elegant tinted serum that happens to protect your skin from the sun. It also contains niacinamide, again, brightening antioxidant, as well as Camellia sinensis leaf, which is green tea leaf extract, also with antioxidant and soothing and calming properties. It also has squalane and sodium hyaluronate, both of which help your skin hold on to and retain water and also help your skin, feel super hydrated. And it also has bisabolol for calming as well. The one drawback of this product, and I'll be totally honest, is that it is really pricey. This one is $64, whereas a lot of the other ones I reviewed are about half that price. So it really is up to you if you truly feel like this is worth the splurge because you truly love the finish of this product. I actually just really love the finish of this product, and I also have a hard time finding tints that match my skin tone that don't run too orange. So for me, I would say that this is a wonderful investment, and I personally am a huge fan. Last but not least, the Peter Thomas Roth Max Mineral Tinted Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 45. And this contains zinc oxide as well as titanium dioxide. It also has safflower extract and vitamin C and E. So again, everything is sunscreen plus, meaning it also has really awesome skincare ingredients. And this one also is more of a whipped mousse. It reminds me of the Lightsaver one a lot. But this also has diamond powder, which contains light scattering optics that helps your skin look more glowy. I've been reaching for this one a lot. I'm trying to find space here. Look at that. This reminds me of a delicious caramel mousse because of the color and the finish. But when I put it on, it just melts into my skin just seamlessly. And the texture is unparalleled. I love the texture of this. It really just blends in really easily. It feels really, really hydrating. And this tint is also more flattering for my skin tone. It doesn't look too orange on me. It doesn't have any pinkness in it. I would say if anything, maybe it leans a little bit more beige-ish rather than orange or pink, but it is just such an elegant formula, and I love that it contains those extra antioxidants, the vitamin C, the vitamin E, as well as that diamond powder, because I feel like my skin really does look very radiant when I use it. And this has about medium coverage, so I do not need to wear foundation on top of that. The whirlwind tour into some of my favorite tinted mineral sunscreens. And again, I don't know why all the ones I grabbed are mineral and not chemical, but maybe I'll have to do a part 2 with more tinted chemical sunscreen recommendations. But my main takeaway for you is this. Tinted sunscreens are incredible because they help block visible light, and we know that visible light can cause damage to the skin. It can cause redness, it can also cause dark spots, and also worsen a lot of skin conditions that get worse with visible light, like melasma and also post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So if you retain anything from this video, it's that tinted sunscreen with iron oxides and pigmentary titanium dioxide are essential for protecting your skin from visible light. And if you use one of the ones in my video, or if you use any other tinted sunscreen that you prefer, I don't care whatever you use, I just want you to use a tinted sunscreen to protect your skin from visible light, especially in the summertime when you're spending a lot more time outdoors. And also, especially if you have melasma or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Please leave any questions below. I'm gonna link all of these products in a shop my shelf below so you can check all of those out. And don't forget to check out, I have so many videos on sunscreen and sun protection, so I'll link all of those below as well. Please feel free to leave any questions or comments, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.